scatter plots.
Yes.
Is that a joke?
No, it's not a joke.
What is up with you thinking everything's a joke?
I never did scatter plots.
No.
I was laughing.
That's what I was asking. That was a joke.
No, I was. Scatter plot, best fit lines.
I know what it is.
You'll notice right away that it's gonna be very fast, very easy to work with. What we're gonna do is some very easy examples. You will probably be done with this in a whole whopping 25 minutes.
And then what?
We'll just go crazy.
Yes.
So when you're looking at scatter plot data, you have a couple of different types of correlations. You have a positive correlation, a negative correlation, and no correlation. So if something had a positive correlation in a data set, if you looked at this, 5. If you had that in a data set and you're looking at a graph, what would the graph look like if it was a positive correlation? Yeah, moving up and right. Guys, it's just don't worry, it's scatter plots.
Okay, but we all have
So it might look like that.
Oh, that's horrible.
What? Why?
It's just ugly. But it's not like, it's not just,
What direction is it going?
Up.
yeah, but
To the right.
So that has a positive relationship.
She's saying it doesn't look nice. Like
Well-
it's not neat, so it upsets her because she's a little pansy.
You know what was nice? Claire's Asian friend was nice.
I miss my Asian. She was so cool.
She drew me a picture and then I handed it to Mr.
And look, there's your negative one.
Where's we?
Whoa, okay. That was slightly racist.
I'm using
Slightly?
my Asian.
That was my Asian.
We's my friend.
And then he
This
just
class is a negative correlation to our souls right about now. Oh man. So yeah, basically you've got your positive correlation going up, and data sets look like it's going up and right. Negatives, data sets going down and to the right. And then no correlation is just a whole heap of mess and nothing.
woohoo. So just we're gonna do like problems where we have to identify what it is because that's not too
It does sound way too easy, and I hope that you get those questions correct.
Sweet.
One of the things that you are able to do with these types of things is to take data sets and predictors. You're able to write equations off of this, and this is something you guys did a long time ago. I'm going to do,
You have a lot of
no,
Did you see that tan line?
I thought I had, like, I scratched my arms. It's
No, I
really
had
annoying.
like I have this hand. This hand.
Excuse me. So what I want to do here is look at a real simple data set, and we're going to create a scatter plot, and we're going to write the equation of it.
Cool.
But in this class, for some odd reason, it's just not going to work as well because there's only 4 males. I don't think it's horrible.
Oh, it's hilarious. Wait.
No.
That's why I wasn't going to do girls. This is.
I volunteer.
I
You don't volunteer?
I know my weight down to the 10th.
Of course you do, because you're a wrestler. Wrestlers are all weird.
5 pounds.
So, what I want to do here is we're going to use. All right, Christian, how tall are you?
6 foot.
No, you're not.
6 foot.
5'2" and a half.
No, you're not.
How many inches is that?
62.
They stack it that high?
What? Hey,
You're not.
that's 5'2".
And you are.
Oh, like 120, 27.
Can I just do 120 and call it even?
Sure.
All right. Mr. Allen, 7'3".
Oh, come on.
And you're what, like $160?
Yeah, I'm not
Incredible.
Beanpole. What we got? 70? How tall are you?
5'7".
So how many inches is 5 feet?
60.
What's 60 plus 7?
Trying to sneak it in.
You sneaked a couple inches in there. 70? How much do you weigh? 150? Okay. Well,
Jacob.
I can guess.
Jacob, you are,
He's 6 foot.
he's taller. He's,
70,
we'll say he's
69.
72 inches. We'll call him, he's taller than 6 foot tall. We'll say he's 6'2". He's your height.
Wait, that.
He just
And then-
slouches so
He's
badly.
yeah, he
Yeah.
does slouch.
And
We'll say,
I'd probably say like
We'll say 140.
170.
170.
Okay.
What?
One.
That's a little off.
No.
Just go ahead and ask him.
Hey, Jacob.
No way, he's 110. Yeah, I'm gonna go with like 150, 5'10". Wait, I say
There's no way he's 5'11". Well, we'll call him 6 foot.
How much does he weigh?
140.
See, I said 140.
I don't know how much people weigh. I don't. All right, I'm 6'3", and I'm 190. All right, so when you put in, you're taller than 6'2", because you're as tall as me, if not taller.
I
Okay.
didn't measure myself.
But Claire, you're taking one for the team.
Oh yeah, 69 and 140.
All right, so we'll use the 6 things
2
here.
months ago, I was 106.
What's that?
2 months ago, I was 106.
Because you were arrested. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this data and we're going to create a scatter plot.
Actually,
And it does not matter which one you call X, which one you call Y. All right, it really doesn't. Since we labeled it first column, second column, let's call this X, call that Y. And we're going to create the scatter plot. Do we agree that's a first quadrant problem?
yes,
Yes.
we
Because we all have mass.
Wait, should we have?
do. No, we're black holes.
It might not be a bad idea. I mean, most of the stuff you know how to do, Christian. I'm not really certain a lot of that.
Just a good example.
When I start talking about heights here, we'll put the height versus weight. When I scale this out, does it matter if I start at 0 or I start out at 63?
No.
Nope, doesn't matter. It's a scatter plot. We're just trying to look at some value here. So if I start here, call that 60, and our tallest one was 75. So what if I do this by 2? So 60, or we'll do 3. So 63, 66, 69, 72, 75. Are we okay with that? In doing this, I'm just coming up with some real basic scale idea. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just looking at your range of data. You're trying to come up with the best way to fit it. Okay. Same thing with the weights. Our lowest weight was 120. Our highest weight was 190. So I'm going to start it up here, maybe call it at 120, and just go by tens. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Pretty simple, right? Plot it. 62 and 120. 74 and 160. 67 and 150. 72, 140. 75, 190. 69 and 140. So for all intents and purposes, kind of cutting right through there, isn't it? As your height is increasing, your weight's increasing, more or less, if you will. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
So what we can do is we can pick a couple of these points that kind of best fit the data scenario, see how close these things can match out, and use it to create an equation. Now, if you're given 2 points and you want to write an equation, what can you do? Remember this little skill that you did a long time ago? Yeah, gonna find slopes and then write your equation out. Now, does it matter which 2 points I choose?
No.
What I did here is just kind of move my line around to kind of see which ones kind of match up the nicest. I mean, if I use these 2, it might be a little bit more on the high side. If I use these 2, it might be a little bit more on the lower side. if I use these two kind of in the middle, I should get something relatively close. So these two ordered pairs,
Do we have to start it at the origin?
no. That's like I did, I just kind of rough guessed it out. And that's fine, because what's going to happen here, Christian, is that obviously this data is going to come down here. We continue this down, this would be a lot lower, and then your y-intercept is going to be around
So
100.
do you want us to have it touch 2 points though?
What do you mean?
Like, or can we just put it somewhere?
You want to try to get it to touch a couple points, because
Okay.
what you're going to choose here are now those 2 points that you picked.
Oh, all right.
All right, so I'm thinking that my best line fit was between this one and this one. I think those are the 2 points I chose, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to the single stream at the table and write the equation and see how close we get. So if I'm choosing those 2 points, if I want to find the slope, well, that's the change in y over the change in x. And our points were at 120, or 62, 120, and then 69 at 140. What's the change in y? Okay, yeah, I accidentally said that. I typed it twice.
It's the same.
It's not the same, it's different numbers. I just changed it up.
So you just replace the numbers,
Okay.
but you didn't
Think
take
we go
out the
back
second
to
sentence.
There's certain levels of laziness, because you can replace, and I just replaced. Change here was 20 over 7. Change in y or change in x. Change in y values there is 140 to 120. Change in x is 69 to 62.
Oh,
20 over 7.
X.
And then, do you remember this old beautiful thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you know that was your first introduction to H and K? That's H and K right there. Because if you think about what this really is, this is y equals slope x minus h plus k. Yeah. That was H and K before you guys realized it was H and K. So just substitute in your values, and yeah, pick a point. Does it matter which one of these you choose? No, not at all. So we'll use the first one. So y minus 120 is our slope of 20 over 7 times x minus 62. Solve for y. We're going to get y by itself, which means you have to use your calculator, use the fractions, and rewrite things through. And we'll be able to check to tell whether how close we actually are within our values.
62. How close we are to what?
Our equation, our data set that we came up with. So I'm getting my equation is y equals 20 over 7x plus 297.14. I don't think that's right. I did something wrong. Oh, it's supposed to be negative. Sorry.
Wait, what? Oh,
Here.
Now I add 120. That should be minus 57. Sorry.
wait,
How are you getting
I got 177.
Yeah, I got 177.8.
Negative 177. Then what do you have to do with the 120 then? Add it over.
Okay.
Sorry, you're
I
right.
distribute this and then I added that. So I did it all in one step.
I got you.
Thanks.
So you get 57.
Right, negative. So what this is telling me that the equation of our data set is y, let me just do this. The equation that came up for our data set, for our lovely graph, is that. So let's check it. Remember how I said that I was 6'3", 190? The 6'3" is the height, correct? That's the value of x.
Yeah.
So if I substitute in 75 for that, I should get really close to 190.
Hopefully.
Minus 75 minus 57.14. No. Just off by a little bit.
No.
There it counts.
So, I mean, you get the idea, though.
Wait, are we wrong?
Yes.
No, we're not wrong. You picked 2 points. Now, your calculator does this as well. Remember how to do, remember when we did the lists?
Oh, I hated those.
Oh, it's so difficult to press buttons.
It is, I forget
They were
what
just
buttons
Where,
bug me.
where. So let's go out to the calculator. And let's go to your
List.
second list.
Second squad.
Pardon me.
Wait, Mr. Murphy, I different points than you. What did you do after you got your points?
It's all for why. I just checked it with
Yeah,
my
I
weight. I checked it with my height and weight to see if it was close. And it was off by about 30 pounds.
What should it work out?
It should be your height. If you use your height and weight, your X and Y value, if you substitute your value of X, your height, you should get your 120 pounds.
Oh.
And you'll see how close you are. Because this is best fit. Now the calculator does it a little bit differently. The calculator is going to figure it out to a more of a correlation. It's going to find a better correlation than what we can on my hand.
So we're still working on the first problem?
Yeah.
No.
You guys shouldn't.
They are. Just showing you another way to do it.
What is it?
Go to your list. Oop, I want to edit, so I need to go to Stat, Edit, and go to L1.
L1, staff.
Stat, Edit, and then you want to go to the L1 table.
I.
And our L1, that was our heights, correct?
Yes.
So what was it? I don't have it from you. 62?
74. 67.
Hold on. It's got to go to slow.
72. 75.
Don't you're being sarcastic now with that tone.
What?
72.
Oh, well, I've been slowing down.
75.
They're just slowing down.
Uh-huh. I sense the sarcasm. And then we'll put in the list, the other one are the weights. Just delete out, or you can overwrite it. 62, that was what, 120?
160. 150. 140. 190.
So now if you go to your stat button again, you have an option, calculate. Move over to the right one,
And do, do the.
linear, option 4.
Option 4.
Your screen might be a little bit different than mine, 'cause my operating system might be a little bit different. Just hit enter a couple times, and you get this equation.
Yes. I got it.
This is
No,
your,
That's what I got. Awesome.
what this is,
That is what the.
this is y equals 3.96x minus 126.2.
So we can use our calculator instead of doing it by hand, right, to get the equation?
Depends on how I ask you to. If I ask you to do it by hand, I'll ask you to do it by hand. If I ask you to do it by calculator, I'll ask you to do it by calculator. Okay, because what can happen a lot of times, this data set,
You're so off.
well, the reason we were so off is think about how many we had. We only had 5 pieces of data. All right, 6, excuse me. I apologize. I'm sorry. We're lacking in data points in this class here. All right.
Oh, so that's all.
It's yes, that's all you are. You're just a little data point in this speck of the world that we are. What happens here is that we're dealing with a very small sample size for something like this. You guys have heard of sample size before, right?
Steve.
I mean, we can kind of figure out what it is.
Okay. What happens is we actually, the more you do statistical analysis, this is kind of like data analysis stuff. The larger the sample size you have, the better relationship you have to your correlations. The better calculations you can make. The more data, better results. Okay? So this isn't really info.
Who's 60 inches tall?
Christian.
It's 62.
62.
Wait, what is this? We. No, don't open it.
It's your age.
Yes!
Did she take the quiz on Friday?
No,
No.
she just did not. I'm
She was
sorry,
right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, she's taking the quiz. She's right in the
Erin. It was like Erin, but there was random.
Where is she from?
Malaysia.
So we've done all this, find slopes, choose points, blah, blah, blah.
She spoke absolutely no Spanish, and it was so funny. It's funny.
Yeah, because what'll happen is, you'll notice when you start working through some of the data sets,
Yeah.
it's gonna be kind of obvious how to pick some of these.
Yeah.
And every one, depending on which 2 points you choose, you can have totally different equations. And it's difficult to get the right or wrong way of doing it when you're trying to do it all by hand.
So when we do it by hand, you'll be a little lenient.
Oh yeah, because you're still showing the right process. That's the whole idea. Did all the calculator junk. Let's do this. Let's do some correlation. I'm going to do another one with some very small set of data points. And I want to show you how we can do some predictors on it. So put these in your tables, L1, L2 respectively. What's that? No, you can probably just read it right off of here. Okay, put them in your tables, L1, L2 respectively. Oops. Break it.
No,
Move
I
this,
broke it.
move this over so I.
Wait, how do you hear it again? The table?
Just overwrite it or delete.
Oh, I got it.
And then what do you go to? And then you go to stat, calculate, line, menu, regular, enter. Wow.
Whenever people say Barbara Streisand, I think of Betty White. What? Bye.
What is Barbara Streisand?
I don't know. There's a song about it. Hannah was singing it. Hannah.
You're singing Barbara Streisand?
I almost called Mr. Murphy Coach. I don't know why.
Coach. Dad.
Tall guy in blue shirt.
It's so awkward. I'll be just when you call your teacher like mom.
Oh man, I did that all the
A
time.
lot.
I'd be like, hey mom.
I've never done this.
It's funny, I haven't been called mom.
I did that all the time.
That's because you're not loving and nurturing. Are you put the knife out again?
Yeah, the gravy boat.
What did you do that for?
Just take the knife out.
She was so serious too. Like it took her no time to say that.
Nice.
It's okay, my confidence, like, it happens. I mean, like, just being honest.
Wow. So hopefully, before your lives have been ruined by the soulless Hannah that we have in our class, you got this as your A and your B value.
I got that.
Now, like I said, what you're going to be able to do with these types of, did anybody not get this for your A and B?
Wait, for less? I get it.
It's very easy to put the wrong digit in by mistake. That's all. Okay.
So when we do a problem out of our book, do you want us to copy down all the data, or do we just, like, in our?
Oh, when you're doing it on your book, just use your calculator or set it up. It depends. Like I said, it depends on what it's asking you to do. Okay.
But we don't need to copy down all the values.
No, absolutely not.
How do you, like, clear on
So you can clear the RAM.
What I do is that when I write my equation down, I'm going to round it out to a couple of decimal places. And you use these equations to then help predict stuff. For example, the next, bring this with. The next equation asks about, use the model to predict the number of touchdowns for Jerome Bettis, who had a career 13,700 yards.
Wow, big deal.
And that's the biggest mistake that most people do, is that they forget that their scale was 13.7 because it's in thousands. So there's little conversions from time to time that you have to make sure that you keep up with.
Wait, so would you just substitute in his
13.7.
Yeah,
For
into
X.
Yeah, and just and hit enter.
That's
Oh,
cool.
because touchdowns is the Y.
85 or 86.
It usually round the best bet that you can on that one. So it says he should have had 86 touchdowns.
Yeah, this is like the exact same stuff we did before, except we're drawing this color.
Okay. And we've done that. We've used the modeling idea before with like quadratics, where we would say predict when the time is equal to 0, something along those lines. One of the reasons that we're trying to group all these modeling things together at the same time is that if you remember when you guys took the park, when you weren't writing stuff bad about the park, there was actually questions on there that talk about data set that you had to model. This is going to help you guys to be able to, what could you fudge your way through if you had to try and set it up. Okay.
Wait, are we gonna be taking the parking lot?
Yeah.
Is that next month or this month?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're taking it.
I'm gonna actually.
Yeah, we
use
have to
this.
take it.
Such a
I'm not gonna
weird
try, I'm not
car.
gonna know anything else.
Yeah.
Did you say that? Yes, he told us this. The first time.
Same thing, you can go the other direction. If you wanted to use the model to predict the number of yards gained, if you, by knowing how many touchdowns they had.
I'm a prodigy.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
I'm gonna say about, that's not right.
I'm gonna say approximately 12,900.
Oh, that is
It's
right. I was like 12.98 yards.
1,000.
Yeah, 80 touchdowns from 12.98 yards. That's a pretty good touchdowns and yards ratio there. Yeah, they were on the goal line. They were on the inch marker
Yeah.
regularly.
Alright, James, get in here.
Thank you, sir. Good, you had that trick one in too. The trick quiz? Do those.
Yes.
I uploaded the pages on the website, just under chapter 2. I didn't rewrite it in terms of all the different units. Sorry, am I in your way?
Qual pagina es?
It's Cien y Tres.
103?
Is it Cien 100?
My phone is named.
What is it? Is it Ciento y Ciente? Ciente? Ciento?
Low Ciento means I'm sorry.
Yos.
Low.
What the heck are you guys talking about?
Espanol.
You're not welcome. Kristen and I will form our own math nation.
I talked in Spanish. Go ahead, guess who's gonna win?
You guys. Although the French really lose a lot.
Last night I talked in Spanish.
How was your volleyball trip to Arkansas? Or did you go to Tennessee or Arkansas? That's close. South.
Louisville. What am I at, Allie? That's actually horrible. Watch Christmas play volleyball for 20 hours. You can Parker. I feel bad doing it. You know what page this is on? Oh, sorry. So I said the number symbol and I thought it was another problem.
No.
Yeah, do number 103.